3 teenage girls dead after carbon monoxide seeps into their rental home. The cost for a CO detector only about $25. But did you know Ohio landlords don't have to install them on their properties? Months later, we're asking what's being done so this doesn't happen to your family. Here's more in my Keeping Families Safe report.
Such a tragedy. It's so young.
Jean Bishop is still heartbroken after losing 3 of her grandchildren to carbon monoxide poisoning last February. Sisters Deanna and Deja Bishop, along with their cousin Jekiah Jones. The home Jean rented in Troy did not have carbon monoxide detectors, and investigators ruled a faulty furnace leaked the lethal gas.
This is hard.
It was horrific when it happened.
I spoke with State Senator Peggy Lehner from Columbus. She's supporting legislation that would require landlords to install carbon monoxide detectors in rental properties with a fuel-burning furnace. The landlord must also have the furnace certified it's working properly.
If he fails to do so, he is subject to a fine and could meet criminal sanctions should someone die in that home.
According to the Residential Code of Ohio, carbon monoxide detectors are required in new dwellings and existing dwellings that have been recently renovated. Rental properties are excluded.
What about mandatory CO detectors for schools and hotels?
Well, I believe that they're already required to have them, is my understanding. If they're not, I think we need to look at that.
I checked with the State Fire Marshal of Ohio, and carbon monoxide detectors are not required in schools or hotels. And according to the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission, the vast majority of schools use natural gas as the primary fuel source.
Very interesting point. I'm glad you brought it up, and I certainly will look into it further.
In fact, only 4 states require CO detectors in school buildings. Just last month, more than 70 children were treated for carbon monoxide poisoning due to a malfunctioning boiler at a Chicago elementary school.
My girls, they were smart.
We can get this into Ohio law before we have to deal with another tragedy.
Now, Senator Lehner says right now the legislation is a minor misdemeanor, but if someone dies as a result of a faulty furnace or lack of detectors, the charges could be elevated by a prosecutor. Lehner expects the legislation to be introduced in the next couple of weeks. We'll keep you posted. And if you have any stories on how to keep families safe, please send me an email at fightingback@fox45now.com.